From the UK
to the USA,
you're rocking with the EC Twins.
Hey, how you doing, guys? Welcome to the EC Twins podcast.
Episode 2.
Still quarantined like crazy, bleeding money. No way to make any money, so...
Yeah, just literally had a text message from somebody in Boston saying, hey, just saw your Boston show got cancelled, so...
I sort of had that one as a yardstick as well when all this started. I was like, surely by the
we'll
end
be
of-
back by Boston.
Yeah, surely we'll be
Everything
back.
was everything like Southern California, all our shows were like, until we went on the road again.
Yeah,
Like
realistically.
festivals and shows.
Yeah, and we have a song out on Friday, so that's sort of May the 1st, and we had a tour planned around that. Actually, we have 2 songs out on Hexagon Records, which is a guy called Don Diablo's label, and we planned a tour around that. And I thought, yeah, by Boston, we'll but it turns out you heard that from a fan, not even from the promoter. Or...
Yeah. Or our management, it hasn't got to them yet, but the fans already know, so.
Jeez.
So, as we just sit here bleeding money. Mark's growing his eyebrows out. Mark seems to be growing his eyebrows
Yeah,
out.
they are really bad.
Just need to comb them up with a toothbrush and cut them.
I've tried, man. I've tried.
Have you really tried?
What, with food scissors?
Yeah, any scissors, paper scissors.
Well, I'll deal with it later, but they are getting really bad, and part of me's
Like
just
Jeremy Clarkson.
just letting them grow out just based on principle. But it is getting beyond a bit of a joke.
Yeah.
So we just decided to do some podcasts where we'd, I don't know, tell you some funny stories, hang out with you, make you laugh, because there's a lot of doom and gloom out there.
And that's how we deal with it.
Depending on which conspiracy theory you want to believe this week.
This week I think I'm still on Bill Gates has created it and
To try and sell a vaccine to everybody in the world.
and implant a chip in our heads.
Yeah, so it's like coronavirus ID that was developed in 2019.
Coronavirus identification vaccine, COVID vaccine.
Yeah, no.
Coronavirus.
What's the vaccine bit?
Well, that's what because
He's
they
not
said
bothered about the vaccine. He wants to ID chip you.
yeah.
So coronavirus ID 2019 because it was developed in 2019. So COVID-19. I mean, whatever. But I mean, we're partially. What the hell do we know?
Absolutely
We're
nothing.
DJs. We don't know, but you don't know either. There are people saying it's a hoax. Highly unlikely. It seems to be
Something's happening.
But then there are other people on the other side who believe everything that mainstream media says, and they're like, "It's a 5
They
to
call
7
anybody who doesn't believe everything that mainstream media says like walking lockstep with what they say. They call them a conspiracy theories. We're 60% sure I had it already, right? I mean, I was wicked sick.
A
in
lot of
January.
people were wicked sick in January. I don't know. I mean, it is scary. It's scary.
It could just be a flu that was created by somebody eating bat soup. Oh, no, you get China created it to kill America. America created it to kill China.
And then I've had
They created it to kill Kim Jong-un. Seem to have done a good job of that.
is he dead or?
By the time you're watching
I
this, he
didn't
must be.
post a single thing. I watched everybody post it, and I thought I'm gonna wait and see. But if he died, it's because he's. I think is he 300 pounds and 5'6"?
300 pounds?
And 5'6".
That's heavy, 300 pounds, 300 pounds.
That's what they said. That's what somebody said. Now look at how many chins he has. He's just
Yeah, but we're what, 175 and overweight.
6'2". Yeah.
6'2".
Well, yeah, he's fat. He eats cheese. That's all he does. He eats cheese and drinks wine. He's a
That
fat
means-
little rich kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we just decided to tell some funny stories, and the funny stories for us come when gigs sucked, because it's not funny to tell you about gigs that went well.
Yeah.
The funny is in the suck. We listened to a podcast by a DJ duo, a big DJ duo who we may or may not have been in a physical altercation with.
In the Hamptons.
May have been fists thrown, but this isn't hip-hop. Nobody here is claiming to be tough.
No.
Fortunately, they weren't fighters either, so...
Even less so than us, it would appear.
Yeah, thank God. But we listened to their radio show the other day, and it was like, oh my God, we did Denver and it was a dope show. And,
Denver's dope, bro.
like when we went to Atlanta, it was dope.
Atlanta's dope,
And
bro.
like our boys, remember, it was so funny. They came in on like a private jet.
Oh, boys are dope, bro. The private jet was dope, bro.
Dude, if you're looking for people who who go everywhere and like literally everywhere on a private jet, this is the boys. And it's like, that's not funny.
Where's the anecdote?
That's annoying. Those
I mean,
guys.
I don't suppose it's supposed to be funny, but where's the interest? Where's the anecdote? There's not. You listen to that at home going, wow, DJs flying private jets. How interesting. Who gives a shit?
Who gives a tossers?
Shit.
Well, not tossers. Good for
Like
them.
you say, no, like you say, while they were flying on the private jet.
Want to know what's funny? While they were flying on a private jet, we had to go and
We
get
were
on
sponsored by Spirit.
Spirit Airlines. Now, I don't know if you've ever been on Spirit Airlines, but that airline will break a spirit.
It's a type of airline where you get on and a guy comes on at the end of the and he goes,
One of the passengers.
Sir, ma'am, I've fallen on hard times. And he's
It's like,
begging.
hey, you want to get on? It's $1 to fly from LA to Denver, but you've got to go via Abu Dhabi and you leave at 2:30 a.m. on Thursday and you'll arrive in Denver at 5 p.m. on Thursday of the following week.
It's only $1 for the flight, but you've got to pay for any luggage. And how many shoes are you wearing? You're wearing 2
Oh,
shoes.
you have 2 arms. Well, that's an extra $150 for the second arm.
But you get 1 shoe for free. You want to use the bathroom? Yeah, it's $1. Go to the front and ask for the key, and it comes on like a wooden spoon.
You need 4 quarters. You're walking up and down, seeing if anyone can break a buck. So
It's really bad, Spirit Airlines.
So, yeah, that's funny to me. I mean, and you're laughing at us, of course. It wasn't funny at the time, but, you know.
That was funny at the time.
It was funny at the time, if you've got a sense of humour about those type of things.
Well, it was funny that they were all getting on private jets and we were getting on Spirit Airlines. And
yeah.
felt like we was going to get mugged on there.
Yeah, cringe. But, you know, the funny is in the suck. So, I don't know what we can tell them about the time we got arrested for a felony.
I'm yet to
For DJing.
think if there's any DJ out there who've got a wilder story than ending up in jail on felony charges.
Felony is like murder,
Just for going
by
to
the
work.
way, capital murder. And if we get a felony prosecution...
Or manslaughter or attempted murder. It's not like, you know,
it's not
stealing
stealing
a candy
bar or, you know, driving without...
Which, by the way, if you go to Walmart, Costco, steal candy bars.
Yeah,
I'm
screw 'em.
serious. One time I went to a store, I bought 3 candy bars and they only charged me for 2, and the person I was with was like, that's so wrong, you should go back and tell them about the 3rd one. Fuck them, I'm not telling them. They're too stupid to be able to count to 3.
And they're making a lot of money out of this.
Yeah,
as well.
Walmart, are they not like
Laying
really
off the staff so they can have one of those... what do you call it? The automated self-checkout.
yeah.
Like, if I scan this bar 3 times and it doesn't go through, I'm taking
No,
out.
I swipe on-
I didn't realise I worked here. I don't have my name badge.
No,
twice,
seriously.
3 times. You know what? I'm out of here.
When I do the
I'm taking the
automated,
candy
the
bar with me.
automated swipe and pack yourself, honestly, 1 in every 4 items is coming home for
screw
free.
'em.
Screw them.
So-
Steal from the grocery store.
So we got.
It's not
I'm
about-
getting all too comfortable with walking into banks with a mask on.
It's not about money, it's the principle.
As it gets harder and harder to pay our bills, and I start to feel more and more comfortable walking into certain outlets wearing a mask, I'm like,
Yeah, don't, not the independent guys. Don't steal from the little guys.
I don't want you robbing a bank or stealing from Walmart and blaming us, by the way. We're joking.
Blame me all you want. I don't care. Yeah, I said it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought, what I don't want is you going in there stealing from some small independent person where that candy bar makes a lot of money. But Walmart. I
If
don't
there's
care
any
what
way
do.
you can get something out of Amazon right now, I'd have to give you a round of applause.
There's always a grift.
There's got to be a
grift.
glitch in the system somewhere. But so we ended up being charged for a felony for playing in a nightclub. Basically, it was in Scottsdale. We played there 1 week, a Sunday night, sold out show, and they decided there was enough. The sound system that night was incredibly low, way too quiet, clearly a problem, but we did it with a smile on our face. We couldn't give the performance we wanted because the sound system was, you could talk over it.
So we did a show in Scottsdale. The sound system was terrible. We left and some of the crowd got upset about it, but we got through.
Let us know about
We left
it
the
on social
show.
media.
We told our management and agent, thinking
Well, no, because our
nothing of
management
it.
and agent called us on Monday and said, hey, they think they can sell a second show out next week. And we're like, wait, this is, first of all, that seems awfully close. And second of all, they've got a problem with the sound system. Do they acknowledge that? Yeah, they acknowledge there's something going on that they're dealing with, but they've dealt with it. Second week is going to be much better. We went back the second week.
It was pretty much the same, maybe a little bit better. It was negligible.
Like if you go to a Taylor Swift concert and you're standing in the back and you can't hear it, you're going to tweet Taylor Swift, that show sucked. TMZ is going to report Taylor Swift
the headline's going to be Taylor Swift show, Taylor Swift fans furious as Taylor Swift show, fails due to volume. They're not going to blame the sound tech. They're going to blame Taylor Swift.
So the second time we went back, it may have been worse. We get back home.
No, it was probably the same, and we pretty much went through the same situation. We got through and we thought, okay.
Really bad, really bad.
The crowd were getting increasingly more angry.
We're getting increasingly more tweets. Turn the sound system up. They're coming up to us. Just turn the sound system up.
We can't hear it. We're about a table at the back of the room. We can't hear it.
And we're saying to them, we don't control that, mate. We don't. Brutal 2 hours. But we got through. We got a phone call on Monday for the third week. Hey, they want you back. I'm like, no, guys, what on earth is going on here? Why? There's so many other acts that they could have. They don't need us every single week. What's going on?
They did mention, the thing is, they had mentioned to us that they had a schedule of DJs.
And so we were like, you know what? We were like to our agent, you know what? They're pulling out. Those
DJs are pulling out because there's an issue. And we're, as usual,
we're
get the twins. They'll
nuclear canaries.
They'll do anything. Get the twins up here. They can take anything.
Is there any other? So we've got a booking in Fallujah. Are there any other DJs?
Oh, remember when we're supposed to go to like Venezuela and it was like a civil war?
Yeah. We're like, are there any other DJs that have been there? No, you guys are going to be the first. I get what's going on here. We'll send the EC twins, and if they come back alive, the rest of us can go and cash in. But if they get killed...
Once the EC twins make money there and it's successful, then Calvin Harris will come in there.
Yeah. But if
$1 million.
If they get killed, at least we didn't kill Calvin.
Yeah. So, the third show we go, and we say to them, listen, make sure... We complained this time. We told them, make sure... the sound system is adequate.
There's just somebody admit that there's a problem with the sound system.
And we turned up the third time. We didn't get any. Nobody met us at the hotel, so we walked to our own show. There was nobody at the show to meet us. We kept.
In terms of, there was lots of people. The show was sold out again, but there was nobody in terms of an authority figure to walk us in, walk us to.
Yeah, a representative of the club. There's no representative of the club. So we go behind the turntables and we're saying to the other DJ, is there a manager, a supervisor, a sound tech, somebody we can talk to? This is really bad. The sound's worse than the last time we came. We messaged our management and our agents and said, we can't go on. This is bad.
Like, the crowd are starting to say, turn it up. And we go on, and Alistair said, turn our monitor speaker. The monitor speaker is the little speaker we have behind the deck, so we can mix.
I noticed because when the beat dropped, nobody really danced, and that's when I said, kill the music. And I'm like, wait a minute, there's no music going on.
There was no reaction to that drop. They didn't hear it. And then the cops come in, all the crowd's holding them back. No, they're the EC twins. They're cool. We're vouching for them. I'm
like the cops are going to go, oh, the EC twins.
Actually, you're right. That is the EC twins. I didn't realise. Diplomatic immunity.
We didn't realise it was you guys.
Like, who the hell are the EC twins? Move. And they came to us and they said, right, we need to talk to you. Is it okay if we talk to you? If that ever happens, I'm going to advise you
to not talk to the cops. That includes when you're inevitably caught for stealing from Walmart. Just don't talk to the cops.
What you say every time, the only thing you say is, I need to get me a lawyer.
No comment. Just say no comment.
No comment's not even going to work. You're going to say it. They don't take you out of those rooms. If you've watched Making a Murderer, that investigation is not over until you say, get me a lawyer. Get me a lawyer.
I've watched more of them.
Get me. And what do they say? They end it when they say, get me a lawyer.
No, they see these no comment guys.
Yeah, that's
I've seen people who basically...
Yeah, but no comment is no comment. They'll leave you in there for a week saying no comment.
Oh, yeah, do they?
The point that...
Let's see how long they last.
Right, okay, but the point that you say, I need a lawyer, it's over for them.
Okay,
get me a lawyer. I'm not speaking. My lawyer's speaking. You can't speak to me anymore. Get a lawyer. So that's what you say. We didn't. We said, sure, buddy, you can talk to us. They separate us, which was weird. And so once they've separated you and you're talking like as if you're hanging out with your mates, you can only tell them the truth. So they say to me, do you control the volume in here? And I say, no, just this little speaker. Bad idea. That's already too much technical,
Basically, they said, do you control the volume? He said, no, just this speaker. And what they heard was some of it.
Yeah.
They heard,
what they heard was yes.
Yes, I control the volume. They asked me the same question. I answered exactly the same.
I was still thinking...
Well, I actually said to them, we knew there was a problem with the sound. We knew because Because, yeah, we had a problem with the sound.
I was more just confused. I didn't think it was weird until when I left. He said, which hotel are you staying in? And I said, the W, just right there. And he said, well, we may need to come and visit you tomorrow. And I was really, literally, I think, what? Never mind. I just want to get out of here. Anyhow, we got out of there, sort of laughed about it, said to our agent and manager, yeah, the cops showed up. It was brutal. And then about a week later, we got a summons to appear in court. So we had to get lawyered up. Called our entertainment lawyer, who put us through to a lawyer in Scottsdale, who basically walked in there like...
My cousin Vinny.
That's it. What about everything we talked about?
Well, I get a little nervous.
A little nervous.
I'm getting better.
The two Utes, Your Honour. The two... Anyway, God bless him. We had to fly in from Vegas, put ourselves in a hotel.
Yeah, we got a phone call. You've got to be in court in Arizona tomorrow. So we were in Vegas for meetings and for shows. And we flew straight to Scottsdale, Mark. We landed in Scottsdale, Mark went to the hotel and went to bed. I went straight out.
I sort of read that blue is a trustworthy colour and figured I'll put on a blue shirt and try my best to look like preppy and sort of presentable and innocent.
Mark turned up because he's a pussy.
Because
he's a fucking do-gooder.
And Alistair went out.
I went out when we got to Scottsdale. I didn't sleep all night. I had a shower in the morning, went straight to court. I turned up. I may as well have been chewing a toothpick. I turned up with my hair all wet and slick. I looked like Razor Ramon.
Sunglasses on, like walked in there like John Wayne through the saloon doors. I thought,
I was tired.
We're going down. We're going down.
I was tired.
Anyway, when we got to the court, we tried walking in and they said, oh, no, you're actually around the corner. And it was like that scene on Goodfellas with, what was it? What is her name?
Is it Elaine Bracco? Is that
something like that? Yeah, where Robert De Niro's like, yeah, just keep going. You sure? We keep walking to the county jail. And when we get to the jail, I'm like, oh, no, we're in court. This is the jail. But we start for a laugh. We start throwing fake gang signs.
Yeah, we took a picture of Instagram of us throwing a gang sign.
And they're like, hey, stop messing around, get in here. And everything moved pretty quick after that.
The second we walked in there, it was as if they were expecting us, and only us.
Yeah, it was weird.
Because they didn't ask any questions. They just took us in, took our belts, our shoelaces.
Put us through the metal detectors.
Put the handcuffs on us, and we're going, oh, no, listen. Oh, there's been a misunderstanding.
I think there's been a misunderstanding. I know this isn't your fault, you're just doing your job, but do you have can I speak to the manager, please?
Can I speak to your supervisor?
We're supposed to be in court today, not jail, court. And they're like, yeah, we know who you are, get in here. And we end up in a cell next to guys with...
Well, we didn't end up in a cell together, we were separated.
Yeah,
we were separated.
But next to inmates they were chained together and they had stripes on. And I'm trying to find the balance between not looking scared, not giving... You know, where you just get rid of your lips completely. Scared vibe and also...
I went into my cell like, I'm a karate man. I'm a karate...
Well, then why when you came in here were you crying like a little pussy?
Me, Steve, me.
You beating up on a man? You putting a man in the hospital? How come I don't see no marks on you? Yeah, because I'm a karate man, all right? Karate man bruise on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Just trying to look like you're not new to this.
Yeah, like it's not your first time in jail.
Yeah, and sort of sat there for the entire day in jail, still trying to talk to anybody who would listen. Excuse me, sir. Hi, sir. Excuse me. Can I speak to somebody about... We're supposed to be at court.
There's been a misunderstanding.
It's been a horrible misunderstanding. And the next time we saw them, they came back in and took us through for our mugshots. And as Alistair had to look forward for his mugshot, he tried to pull off what I can only describe as blue steel or Ferrari, like Zoolander. He tried to do that. What Alistair thought he was doing was...
I mean, I'm going to put up, for people who are listening, go to our YouTube and I'm going to put up the picture of my mugshot. If there was a serial killer on the loose in Arizona and they put my picture on the front page of the newspaper, said...
Completely forget that you know who he is.
Suspect captured,
and
they put my mugshot on there, you think, yeah, he
Guilty.
did it.
My mugshot, I was still like, I can't believe he did that.
Oh, your mugshot, you look like the preppiest, geekiest.
Innocent though, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, when we finally got to court, it turns out we were being charged with a felony. Basically, to round it up, the club had complaints from a neighbour about that she could hear the sound spilling out, and there seemed
angry about the new club sound system.
Which she ultimately ended
She
up losing.
ultimately lost. But
That didn't help us.
We were collateral damage to the
Basically,
case.
the police had been and said to the club, if we have to come back regarding this issue one more time, we're charging you with a felony. And I suspect that they knew it. They knew it was going to happen that night. And so any form of authority, any promoter, any manager,
when the cops came,
any
they ran.
owner vanished. And so it was our names that got put down in the books.
They offered us a plea deal where the only charge was a civil.
And we were really clear with our lawyer. We were like, wait, so basically this is like innocent. And it's like, well, it's like a parking ticket. It's a financial deal.
$10,000 parking ticket.
It's just,
Did I mention that what weight they said I was on my police report?
no, you didn't. You.
On my police report, it said Alistair, 6'2", 220 pounds. And at the time I was 170 pounds. And I'm quite conscious about my weight.
Yeah.
They were fat shaming me,
Did
Mark.
you put me down for 200 pounds?
220, they put me down. I
What
don't know
about me?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought you
I
did.
don't know. They fat shamed me, Mark. They were fat shaming me, and that's just not happening nowadays.
I thought this was an arrest, not a comedy roast. Anyway, since then we have been back to Scottsdale. The last show we did in Arizona was right before you went in. Alistair had to have open heart surgery for an issue that he was born with, a birth defect, basically.
I was dying.
Yeah, he was dying and he needed open heart surgery to save his life, but he didn't want to cancel any shows.
Never cancel, okay? If there's a DJ up there and you've cancelled the show because you feel a bit under the weather, you don't deserve the job.
But it wasn't funny by that point. You was going to die, and this is stupid. So the day before, he had to go in for life-saving open heart surgery, and he really was not able to walk or anything. We basically carried him on stage, and we did Arizona, and there was lines around the block, and it was sold out.
It's a good
and
show.
It rocked. It was an awesome show, which was a good thing because we thought it might be the last show of Alistair's life. Probably subsequently mine. But that was the last time we performed in Arizona, so we fixed it. But there was one time in between then and now where we did a show where...
Well, we can save that. Should we save that for another time?
Yeah, I think we'll save that for another time.
Should
Might
we
have
save it
even
for
been
another
worse.
time? The time we DJ to absolutely nobody.
Well, I think you've told them too much now. Now it makes us look bad.
It was a long story.
Let's save it for another time.
Okay.
There was a time that may have even been worse than being arrested and jailed for a felony.
Exactly. I'd rather, at least when we got arrested, the show was full. Is anybody...
I do want to say that it wasn't there was some mitigating circumstances that led to nobody being there, which, yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, we turned up for a show and there was a power cut before we went on stage. It's a power cut and everybody got asked to leave the venue.
The power cut into the entire city block and everybody had to leave, and the power cut
And they
lasted
left-
for 2 hours. 2 hours later, when there was absolutely nobody in a pitch black city, the power came back on. And
like a Tuesday night.
we figured the club would just say, yeah, just go home. And they went, no, just go on.
Go on stage. Nobody in the club. Nobody. We did the first 15 minutes to 2 people who worked at the bar, and then they left. And then we just did the next.
There were some latecomers who came like after 1 a.m.
Yeah, like a handful, Mark.
Yeah,
like
but that
literally
was worse
5.
than nobody because they were like, hey, where is everybody? And we had to explain, there was a power cut. Mm-hmm. And they were patting us on the back like, hey, you guys are great. Don't give up.
It's just Arizona that sucks. We've seen you guys. We know
like,
you
no,
guys.
no, you don't understand.
There was people here. There's people here, but
It
there's
was
a power
packed,
cut.
but there was a power cut. Oh, of course, there was a power cut.
And they made us go on. Why didn't they just tell us, oh, go home? Just go home.
I just remember watching a screen that had like college football on, and I have no interest in college football. I didn't absorb any of the information. I just needed somewhere to focus my gaze to stop the absolute brutality.
I just remember still selecting records, going, what should I play next? Like, what was
like as if there was any read on
yeah,
the
like
crowd.
like what would the crowd want next? And
Because
then
if you remember, there was still one girl who, for her, it was like Beatles mania. She couldn't believe.
Oh
she
God,
was
yeah, I know. She followed
so
me home.
close to the EC twins.
She
and
followed me
was
home.
like-
She's like, can I come to your
Yeah,
hotel
she's
room?
kind of walking back, and she's not peeling off, and we're looking at each other, and she's like, "So what have you guys got planned after this?" And after
Like, you know, I'll
something
come back to your
after
hotel
something
room,
like
right?
that, you really just you need to take some time on your own to just be like,
She's the one groupie who did she not just see what happened there?
"Yeah,
I
you
don't know.
still
I
into
couldn't look her in
this?"
the eye.
Because here's the rule: if you're on stage, whatever it is that you do, whether you're a stand-up comedian, whether you're a musician,
Yeah.
whatever it is, you're gonna get.
You can fuck above your pay grade.
Yeah, you're going to get women that are out of your league. That is just the way that it is. Like, we can be a solid, let's be generous and say we're 6 out of 10.
I say that's fair. I say we're a hard 6 out of 10.
Yeah, that's fair. when we get on stage, it's 10 out of 10. It's like, you know, the next day they wake up and they call their friends and they're like, I don't know, he was like the center. It was so gross. It was so gross, Sarah. But you know,
He looks in shape on stage.
I figured I'm engaged to Todd and this could be my last chance to have a fling. It was
I was in Vegas and, you know, Todd was still away in Iraq and I thought I'd have a fling with this DJ.
And he was like the center of attention. Everybody was paying attention to him. And
How was the sex? Claire, it was awful.
He actually called me into the bathroom to tell me he'd achieved an erection, Claire. He used the word achieved like it's something he was working towards.
It lasted like 3 minutes. Claire, he was sweating. Yeah.
You never want to be that guy.
The way girls look at you on stage is the way I've seen guys look at strippers in strip clubs. They look at the girl and they kind of objectify her, and because she's naked, they go, that'd be a really good idea to get involved with her. And that's kind of how they look at DJs. They go, oh my God, look at that guy on stage. That'd be a real good idea. And they don't realize most of them are cokehead, hepatitis-riddled, philandering assholes.
Actually, I'd say most of them are just flat, straight up boring.
Nowadays, they are actually. Nowadays, most of them are boring. Hanging out with DJs is like going to an insurance seminar.
And if you remember that night, we were on Spirit Airlines again. Mm-hmm. And we'd had to fly to San Diego the next day via, like, I don't know, Vancouver, something like that. And we booked the flight. It said, well, it's leaving at 3. And we thought 3 p.m. It was leaving at 3 a.m.
And we came off stage at 2 a.m. So
yeah, and so if you remember...
No, 3:30 a.m. We had to get to the airport
we just
by
needed
3
somewhere to
We had to get to the airport
bags.
by 3 a.m.
So we just needed somewhere to store our bags. If you remember, it was $500 for a hotel. And then the next nearest hotel was a Motel 6, which was $59. And we were like, yeah, we're gangster. We can do this.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the proudest moment of my life. No. But we got the Motel 6 to store our bags, and I turned up there. It wasn't that bad.
Wasn't that bad. Plenty of TV, some kind of Virgin on breakfast in the morning.
Well, like bagels
free
and
internet. Yeah.
I mean, sure,
But you wasn't going to rush.
There was a prostitute next door who seemed to be turning them around hourly.
Yeah, well, good for her.
I think maybe a couple of murderers in the parking lot.
He wasn't going to rush to... If the groupie wasn't massively disappointed by the show... Surely the Motel 6 would have polished her off, but it's hard to say.
we almost got the Motel 6 as a... We literally thought, what is the cheapest...
A social experiment.
Exactly. We spent years...
How far have we come in terms of where we were from, which was, you know...
A really Motel 6, I would have thought like Richie
Rich. A really
Rich.
rough project. Mm-hmm. In between there and these 5-star hotels that are on our rider right now.
We've just stayed in nothing but swanky hotels for a decade, and we thought, well, let's get one of those hotels, you know, where you open the door into the parking lot. That's when you know it's bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You open the door and there's your car park. So let's give that a go. And
Still open it with a key rather than some kind of a card or a fob.
Yeah, we expected it to be really bad, but it wasn't that bad.
Anyway, so that's 2 stories for the price.
Yeah, and would it be fun to tell you about the stories of the glamorous life that everybody... That's an aspect of it, but those stories just aren't exciting.
You've been there, you've seen it. At this point in time, does anybody need anybody having a thinly veiled boast?
Exactly.
Laugh at our pain. That's much funnier. So yeah, I hope the quarantine's working out for everybody. Just another little podcast to keep you entertained, and we'll see you soon.